Today is July 10, 2025. Few nations have emerged under such intense circumstances as Israel, whose story begins in the aftermath of World War II and the Holocaust. The call for a Jewish homeland was not just political, it was a matter of survival, a promise of never again. The land, then British Mandate Palestine, was a small, arid region surrounded by newly independent Arab states, many of whom viewed the idea of a Jewish state with hostility. For Jews, it was a return to their ancestral home. For local Arabs, it was a threat to their own future. In 1948, a fledgling nation of survivors and immigrants faced overwhelming odds as neighboring countries vowed to destroy it. Israel's identity was forged in this crucible. Self-reliance, unity, and military strength became essential. Every policy and innovation since traces back to this fight for existence. The struggle for survival shaped Israel's character and relentless drive to overcome immense challenges. Israel's creation was the culmination of a centuries-old dream rooted in Jewish history and faith. After centuries of exile, the longing for return was transformed into Zionism, a modern political movement led by Theodor Herzl. Waves of Jewish immigrants, driven by persecution and hope, built new communities in Palestine, often clashing with local Arabs. The British, caught between conflicting promises, struggled to maintain order as tensions rose. After World War II, the exhausted British handed the issue to the United Nations, setting the stage for a dramatic and violent birth. In 1947, the UN proposed partitioning Palestine into separate Jewish and Arab states, with Jerusalem under international control. Jewish leaders led by David Ben-Gurion accepted the plan as a historic opportunity, while Arab leaders rejected it as a grave injustice. Violence erupted immediately, escalating into civil war as the British withdrew. On May 14, 1948, Ben-Gurion declared Israel's independence. Within hours, 5 Arab nations invaded, determined to destroy the new state. The War of Independence was brutal. Israel's poorly equipped forces faced overwhelming odds. By 1949, Israel had survived and expanded beyond the UN's original borders. The war created a massive Palestinian refugee crisis and left deep scars. The unresolved conflict would define the region for decades. The 1949 armistice brought only a fragile ceasefire, not peace. Israel, surrounded by hostile neighbors, faced constant raids and poured resources into defense. The 1956 Suez Crisis showed Israel's military prowess, but also its vulnerability to global politics. The 1967 Six-Day War was a turning point. Israel preemptively struck its neighbors, capturing the Sinai, Gaza, West Bank, East Jerusalem, and Golan Heights. The victory tripled Israel's territory and brought profound religious significance with the capture of Jerusalem. But it also placed Israel in control of a large Palestinian population, beginning a contentious occupation. The conflict now centered not just on Israel's existence, but on the fate of the occupied territories and their people. The 1967 war transformed the Arab-Israeli conflict and set the stage for future struggles. The 1967 victory hardened Arab opposition. No peace, no recognition, no negotiations. The 1973 Yom Kippur War shattered Israel's sense of invincibility, proving military superiority was not guaranteed. The war's trauma opened the door to diplomacy. In 1977, Egyptian President Sadat's visit to Jerusalem led to the Camp David Accords and the first peace treaty between Israel and an Arab nation. Israel withdrew from Sinai in exchange for peace with Egypt. Despite this breakthrough, conflict with the Palestinians intensified, leading to uprisings and ongoing occupation. A 1994 peace treaty with Jordan further normalized Israel's regional position. Israel's story is one of repeated wars and bold diplomatic leaps, showing both the cycle of conflict and the potential for peace. Amid conflict, Israel quietly transformed itself into a global tech powerhouse. Lacking natural resources, Israel invested in education, research, and innovation, creating a culture of problem-solving and creativity. The Silicon Wadi now boasts the world's highest concentration of startups per capita. Military service, especially in elite tech units, incubates talent and drives the tech sector. Veterans bring their skills to the civilian world, fueling economic growth and global influence. Israel's shift from agrarian socialism to a high-tech economy is a story of resilience and adaptation. The nation is now known as the Startup Nation, turning disadvantages into strengths. In 2025, Israel stands as a regional power with a world-class military and innovative economy. Its alliance with the United States remains vital, but new relationships are emerging, highlighted by the Abraham Accords with several Arab nations. These agreements signal a potential realignment in the Middle East, driven by shared interests and concerns. Yet the Israeli-Palestinian conflict remains unresolved, with ongoing violence, settlement expansion, and deep divisions within Israeli society. Internally, debates over religion, minority rights, and democracy challenge Israel's future. Israel's journey is one of resilience and transformation, but the quest for lasting peace and unity continues. The next chapter of Israel's remarkable story is still being written.